Greetings and welcome to the launch of our debut novel, Asylum. We are your hosts, C.L. Raven. Today we will take you through the doors of Raven's retreat and lead you down its twisted corridors, where you'll meet the staff and the patients who still haunt its blackened heart. We will tell you tales of murder, madness and revenge. We brought you out here to the cemetery where Phineas is said to wander as he searches for something he can't find. And then we will answer your questions and do a reading. And if you're really quiet, you might just hear the patients scream. We're now going to do a reading from two extracts from Asylum. The first extract is when Mason first arrives at the asylum to report on the ghost tours, soul searching, and Phineas has taken him on a tour of the asylum before the first guests arrive. I led Mason to one of the wards that hadn't been converted. A row of beds flanked each wall. Some of the beds contained patients. Their vacant eyes tracked me as I moved around the room. I turned my back on them. The K2 buzzed and lit up. He frowned at it. These used to be locked at night. You can imagine the terror of an unmarried pregnant woman locked in with a paranoid schizophrenic. I read they would lock unmarried pregnant women in here with the crazies. They didn't segregate them. Not until the Second World War. That's like putting someone with a broken leg in the cancer ward. No, it wasn't. Those with mental illness are cursed by society's misconceptions. Is it any different today? I returned downstairs and sat in the dining room at the head of the table. Darkness was wrapping its funereal cloak around the asylum. A man wearing the standard military-style uniform escorted someone away from the graves. A raven called. Mason spoke into his voice recorder. While investigating the rest of the rooms upstairs, the K2 was finally silent. I'd almost stopped noticing its incessant buzzing. Perhaps the batteries are faulty. All the ghosts decided reliving their deaths is more entertaining than following you. The curtains billowed in my wake. A chair toppled. I stopped and picked it up. Mason looked at his watch. Bloody things stopped. Why are there tours at night? Atmosphere? Or so you can't see the strings? Night is when the screaming starts. A ghostly sigh extract. Okay, this extract is from when a group of students come to do a tour of the asylum and they persuade Phineas and Mason to participate in a Ouija board. A ghostly sigh replaced the shocked silence. The candles were extinguished, plunging the room into blackness. Tortured screaming haunted the room, chilling everyone's souls and walking over their graves. A chorus of 1,000 agonised voices deafened everyone as the patients finally heard the voice and were determined everyone should share them. Deadly whispers called from my ears, trying to drag me into their asylum of insanity. I could hear the shadows slithering across the walls, drawn to the vulnerable veil between the land of the living and the land of the dead. They gathered around the table, prepared to feast on the fear that seeped from the guests. The light flashed on. On the wall behind each guest was the shadow of a person hanging. The letters on the board ignited, tiny flames forming the alphabet. The planchette spun before gliding towards the flaming letters. A small fireball erupted in the centre and died. In the centre of the board, flaming letters spelled out the poltergeist's final message. See you in hell. Hello and welcome to the question section of Asylum's launch. We are your hosts again, C.L. Raven, and this is not the Telegraph News. As you can see, we put you here to Denby Asylum, the place which inspired Asylum, Raven's Retreat, and the place that we sadly can't get into. So we're stuck outside it and
all forlorn and lost.
but we have to be quiet and we can't stay here too long because if the caretaker finds us and lets his dog off the lead, we're
No
gonna
more see our baby. Yeah, and we're gonna have to make a run for it, and Ryan might drop his camera, and it would be a mess. Okay, so no one disturbs the caretaker.
Okay, so we just all stay quiet and tidy up any cake crumbs that we leave behind.
It's a ghost story set in an asylum which burnt down in 1904, killing most of the patients and staff.
And it starts where journalist Mason Strider has been sent there by his editor to do a piece on soul search and the ghost tours that take place in the asylum. He thinks it's a load of rubbish, and actually his main objective is to out Phineas as a fraud and to prove that the ghost tours are nothing but fake.
But unfortunately his presence there awakens the asylum, and the staff and patients return to haunt it with brutal and tragic consequences.
And they're there to seek revenge on the arsonist who killed them. Yes and no. Obviously the cover is Denby Asylum and that forms the basis of it, but when we actually wrote the book we didn't know of Denby's existence. We only found out about it about 2 years ago because we suck at research and we never research our books until after we've written them because we don't want to clog down with fact. So whilst the outside is Denby, the inside is actually of our own imagination, but we have used details from Denby in it, such as the colour of the tiles on the wall and the floors in the arched corridors and the morgue. So, and the chapel that was also in Denby. The graveyard is completely fictitious. The patients and staff are completely fictitious. But some of the stuff that Phineas mentions in the book that happened in Raven's Retreat actually did happen in Denby. They did hold sports days. They did take them out on picnics. They did used to take them to the town. There was a farm across the road where the patients used to work to sort of rehabilitate them back so they could return to the normal world. And yeah, they did used to hold balls and lantern shows in the dining hall. So that's all real. So yeah, it's sort of a blend. Yeah. Extremely important. Yeah, not just because it's our debut novel, but it's because it's, out of all the novels and stories we've written, we've put the most effort into this one because we've never been happy with it. So it's a constant edit, it's more edits than any of the others. Because we first wrote it 7 years ago, so in 7 years it's changed a lot. It's probably unrecognisable from the original sort of raw version, but and even though we wrote it 7 years ago, and obviously we wrote other novels that length ago, even longer ago, and more recent novels, there's just been something about that novel that's just stayed with us, and even though we felt it was terrible before, we just couldn't let it go. It was always going to be our debut novel. It was not the first one we ever wrote, not by a long shot, and there have been other modern ones which have been a lot easier to write because it wasn't easy to write, but Soul Asylum was always going to be the first one we released. Yeah, there were a lot of challenges because we sent it to an editor in America, so to do that we had to lock it in a satchel and then run across the ocean, but they were like crocodiles, so we had to run on top of the crocodiles all across the ocean. We got a bit cold and we got a bit wet and they were snapping at us. So that was like the most difficult part. Yeah, trying to stop it getting wet.
Yeah.
But we have sent it to a number of publishers over the years.
When it was crap.
Yeah, and it's crap. We did send it to other publishers, and we actually had a really nice letter back from one publishing company who really liked the book. Unfortunately, they couldn't take it on at the time, but the editor did say that he felt it would make a great TV series or a film. And then a couple of years ago, when we first set up our blog, he actually commented on our blog saying, "I remember you sent me a ghost novel about an asylum and there were ravens in it." And we were thinking, wow, we must have had hundreds of submissions. But he actually not only remembered the book, but remembered us as well.
Yeah, and little details that were in the book. So, but he read that.
Yeah. So yeah, none of the publishing houses took it on, obviously. We've entered it into a couple of competitions and it didn't get anywhere. And then when we decided to become indie writers, we thought, well, we'll release this as our debut novel. And yeah, formatting the print book was a bit of a challenge. The template was a bit picky and we had lots of
Pain in the ass.
page numbers.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
We'd hunt them down. We would hunt them down and mount their heads on gateposts and then like string their bodies up and dance around them and like maybe light a fire and a party and
They definitely go in the next short story in Dire Gruesome Death.
oh really gruesome, really gruesome. Like, you know, Tudor England would curl up in fear of what we would do to them. Because any people.
I think we probably would be upset. I mean,
After all the work that's gone into it, although it wouldn't be an attack on us, it would feel like an attack on us because obviously, you know, anything you write is really personal to you. So although they're only attacking your work, it does feel like they're attacking you as well. Because, you know, when you spend so much of your life doing something for other people to hate it and reject it, yeah, it does hurt. So,
but we'd get over it. Yeah, we'd probably maybe bitch about it on Facebook and Twitter, and then yeah, we'd get it out past this. Be alright then.
once you've hunted them down, you know, we will all be forgiven then. You know, once they're silenced forever. And then we'll challenge them to write a book. See how well they do. Probably a 15 because there's one sex scene, but it's not graphic at all. There are a few gruesome bits, but overall it's not that gruesome. It's more scary, chill. It's a ghost story, so there's not a lot of gore, which is so unlike us. But
obviously we'd like it to get an 18, so maybe we should start a sort of campaign trying to get it banned and saying this is bloody, no kids.
This is anti-Christian. Yeah, if we can get a book banned, it will shoot up the rankings. A film will be made of it, and then
film would have to be an 18, so then more people want to watch
so
it.
then we'll adopt pseudonyms, try and get the film banned, generate some publicity for it. Then people watching be like, why was this even trying to be banned and that? And so yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I suppose technically you could compare it to any other haunted house, but not really.
Not really, because they tend to have one ghost. We have a whole asylum full, and
we have an asylum full of ghosts who are more residual ghosts, who are just acting out their lives, and then we have the poltergeist, who's violent and destructive. So yeah, there is like a whole legion of them.
And plus, nothing in Raven's Retreat is quite what it seems. So you don't get a lot of sort of films like that. Normally, like a film or ghost book will have like one or two ghosts that might like terrorise the living and that. This is kind of different because the story's more about the ghosts rather than, instead of it being about the living people, it is actually a ghost story because it is about the patients and the staff and, you know, the ghosts who haunt the asylum. The living people are just there for entertainment, so they're not the main focus.
Sadly, it's a one-off.
Yeah, as much as we love Phineas and the characters in it and the book, yeah, there will not be a sequel to Soul Asylum.
Even though we feel that, even though we've worked in it for years, we still feel like we're not done with it. We're not done with haunted asylums, and the more we sort of learn about the book as we write it, the more fascinating we find it, and we want to learn more, we want to write more. We'd love to do another book, but it would just be more of the same, really, and it would, I think it would diminish the book. It would ruin what we've done if we did the sequel. We don't want
I think a sequel would be a poor imitation of it, and
we don't want to do like Hollywood does and just turn out the sequel and try and flog a dying franchise. It's best to just keep it as a one-off in its own little bubble. Mostly through Twitter and Facebook.
yeah,
That's where our sales
our
come
little
from.
octopus arms come through the screen like this, and we like a tentacle, and
You
that's
tap
how we
people
reach
and go,
them.
do you know our book is out?
Yeah,
And-
it's up there, you know.
yeah, mostly we got fantastic Facebook and Twitter friends, and they buy the book, and then they tell people about the book. And we blog.
They're actually better at promoting it than we are,
Yeah.
because we forget.
And we don't want to seem like really big-headed, and we don't want to be spamming people all the time, because nobody likes that. And also we did our very first press release, in Wales on Sunday.
We thought we'd be brave and send the papers a press release about the book, and then the journalist contacted us and said that she'd like to do an interview with us
We
at our
panicked.
house. We panicked, completely freaked out, went to total meltdown, tried to refuse. Our mum and Ryan wouldn't let us, and this is the result. We're in the paper, people. Yes, people will now have nightmares, because our little freaky faces be smiling. People would like turn onto this page and they'll be like, oh my god, that's terrible, those monsters, and they have a snake.
And that is this. It is a real snake. This is our Charlie, or Chaz as he's known to his friends. He was in a bit of grump because he didn't want to be woken up and have his photo taken.
You know what models are like in photo shoots.
Yeah.
They won't get out of bed for less than 10 grand. He was hooked out of bed, wasn't happy about it. So threw a diva style tantrum.
So he's actually hiding his face behind my neck. Spent most of the photo shoot hiding his face, because maybe he doesn't want to be recognised.
That is true. He might be a criminal and we don't know about it.
Yeah.
We're not with him all the time. So yes, this is the first time being in paper. We've been in Writing Magazine.
Yeah, can you believe? We haven't even ever been in the brought to justice section,
Which
or
I-
had our names in the obituaries, or anything
Which I
like
think
that.
has surprised everyone.
Yeah.
Other than that, we've been in Writing Magazine loads. And
All
plan,
over that like a rash.
yeah, we plan to be in that again if they'll have us, unless they like start
Us.
blackmailing our emails and
Blacklisting.
yeah, oh yeah, they won't blackmail us unless they start blackmailing. Oh bugger!
But unless they start blacklisting our emails.
And we've been making bookmarks, and we've got magnets, and we're going to send some out as swag to people.
Yeah, we will be doing giveaways. We're on 5 blogs this week.
We're on Anya's on Monday, LKJ's on Tuesday, Andrew's on Wednesday, Julie's on Thursday, and Finta's on Friday, and we'll be doing giveaways on all of them. We'll be giving away a copy of Soul Asylum ebook and some amazing swag. So you have to go onto the blogs to enter.
Buy the book. Please, just buy the book!
Don't do what we did and try to get inside Denby Asylum. As much as it's now going to be propelled right at the tourist charts with the release of this book, we got caught. Don't do it. We're not encouraging criminal
Also,
behaviour.
we'll be really annoyed if you get in and we didn't.
So we might have to unfriend you for that.
It will be available in ebook now. Check out our beautiful cover. Print book isn't out yet because we haven't got the proof back yet. It'll probably be out sadly in the come on create space sadly in a few weeks. So if you want to wait for the print book, you can do. We're not going to force you to buy both. Actually, yeah, we will. Yeah, we are. Buy both. And the film will be coming out probably within a couple of years. Hollywood don't know it yet about that yet, but we haven't picked our cast yet, so be on the lookout. So we'll be scouring the streets soon, and if we see people who we feel are perfect for the role, they'll be shepherd's crooked into a white van. They'll be brainwashed until they actually become the characters, and so it would be method acting to the extreme. Yeah. And thank you for coming to Soul Asylum's launch. Stick around, we'll be playing songs from the playlist throughout the day, and we'll be visiting vlogs in the week where we'll be doing some giveaways. So get some swag and some free books. And if you liked this video, the trailer and the cover, they were done by Ryan Ashcroft of Fireclaw Films, so hunt him down while his prices are cheap. So, like the patient, whatever you experience, Ravens or Treat will haunt your memories forever. And make sure you close the door quietly on your way out, because some things should never be disturbed.